Did it start? Still just sitting here.
Alright, we were with Sam Bogner.
Yeah, that probably started a while ago.
So unfortunately dropped in the Nova by computers.
Yep, computers are OP and I didn't side properly against them, so... no, anyway, with the computer drop, it put me at X2 yesterday at the regionals. I should have topped, but the judge turned in my match slip. Not to call the judges, you know, whatever. You guys are nice people, but the judge turned in my match slip without my signature or my opponent's signature on it, so we both got dropped out of the tournament. So what the fuck ever. I guess shit happens. Shout outs to Ricky Hoy. Yes. If you didn't hear, yesterday Prophecy topped with Ricky Hoy, so that's good for that. I want to get a deck profile on Ricky Hoy later.
29th place, I do believe. Yep,
he did awesome. Very proud. Can't wait to be a Nats with him. I played Geargia. Geargia is bad right now, but I love the deck, so...
Is it straight Geargia or Geargia
Curry? No, the deck's really strong. It's just like, it's bad against Mermails, it's bad against Fire Fist, it's bad against Heartbeats. Like, it's just... I'll explain why later, but...
Seems like it's just bad.
No.
Like a certain boxer profile.
It's shit.
We've had before.
Everything is trash. This is the main card of the deck, obviously. Everybody knows that. Armor. Armor's amazing, but armor sucks because you set this and it just gets bared and it gets marksman and it gets Chidori'd and it never resolves and I'm going to cut it because I fucking hate it. No, you have to run it, but it's just, it blows right now. It'll be better when the format goes back to people having to actually, like, battle.
There are some good plays you can do with this, though.
Well, I mean, it's the main card of the deck. It's technically the best card of the deck. But the problem is just it doesn't resolve because if you don't have the Veiler most of the time, they just kill it. This is where I fucked up. I ran 2 him, and I should have ran 3. I just didn't want to get cloggy hands, but at the same time, realistically, either you just need him. You just do. It's stupid. But if you don't open with this, you're like 3 turns behind if you don't open with this, so you have to. I ran 3 Accelerator because it's like a major combo piece. There's a lot of like loops you can do with it. Also, its effect is nice that if it gets killed, basically, or sent to the graveyard, you get to add 1 back, so you can just keep recycling him.
Yeah, really useful.
3 Mach 2. That's honestly like my favorite card in the deck, just because there's so many plays. And then the little boy, Geargiano fuckboy, because you only need 1. You get him out with Geargia gear. You can search him if you need to, and then you just use him to recycle your tuners because he can get back level 4. So like late game, basically this 1 card in your hand can turn into a Star Eater if you play it. It can turn into a Black Rose. It can turn it into a Beret just off of 1 card. So it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep. Nice.
And then the 3 card Curry tuners, which my loss yesterday came from my opening hand in game 3 was I got both of these. Him, and then like an MST or something. It's just like there's no point even playing this.
Yep.
But anyway, these make the big explosive plays for the deck. And then One Birdman. People should know how that play works. You just bounce the Accelerator and you keep doing stupid shit. And then I wish I would have not run this. Reox, it's good, and it does put in work. And I did win a game or 2 off of it, but it wasn't a game where I could have won anyway. It was just a win more. And I would definitely replace this with the 3rd Arsenal, like no hesitation at all. It's coming out for the 3rd Arsenal.
Yeah.
And then the 2 Veilers, I wished I would have had 3 of this also yesterday, because like I said, if you don't have a chain or a Veiler to stop that bear, most of the time you lose your armor, and then shit gets really ugly from there. So it's also really good in the mirror match because you can freeze their armor.
Alright, what's the monster count on that?
It's like 19 or 20 or some shit. I think should be like 20.
Alright.
20 with $30, I think.
He can come in. Just make sure get him upstairs.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to do.
I only ran 2 upstarts because I wanted all the other cards that were in my deck. I might go to 3 now because I.
Your hero plays 3. Is that what?
Yeah, I will.
I do believe.
I run 2 Patrick Hobans, I guess, but it's still technically like a 38 card deck with the 2 in here, and I also didn't like. I was also getting pissed because in the day I did get to test this, I've only been playing this deck for like 3 days, so whatever. But in the days I did get to test this, I drew like 2 or 3 constantly, and I'd always give my opponent like 2,000 free or 3,000 at the beginning, and that's like handing them a free warning, and that was kind of pissing me off. So
yeah,
I think I could have just I was getting mad more than anything. 2 MST, I run 2 trap stuns, so I didn't feel like I needed 3.
Yep.
Might play 3. Book was whatever, it was book. And then I ran Dark Hole because I wanted to be able to come back in the mirror match if they exploded on me, or come back against like Mermails. Unfortunately, Dark Hole wasn't really that good I definitely would like to cite it probably, but there are those games where you can't always count on people's logic right now is to not main deck this simply because it's bad turn 1.
Yeah.
But you can't always count on being ahead of your opponent. Sometimes you do need to use it, and sometimes it just gets you a win. Okay, so traps. I ran the 3 gear. This is one of the best cards in the deck, and also it's one of the worst. If it resolves and you have if you start with an armor down and this down, you pretty much win the next turn, or get too much advantage for them to make a comeback because the card is so good. Because this is basically a rabbit for this deck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of times where realistically the card is just dead because you've already used the gears, and it's just literally a dead draw, and it just hurts to have it on the back row when they can't do anything. Triple Fiendish Chain. It saves your armor, and really you just need to protect the armor. You can basically smash over anything in this deck with the extra deck monsters, but if you can't keep the armor alive, you're gonna lose. So
it's really good this format as well. 2
Mirror Force, I did not like this at all. Mirror Force is bad. I should not have run this. It barely ever resolves against good players, so I'm probably gonna take that out. 2 Called Haunted. I wish I didn't have to run this at 2, but at the same time, you have to protect armor and keep them alive. So basically, if they bear at the beginning of the turn, or marksman, and they pop your card, you just bring armor back to the end phase, so it's technically they didn't do anything. And the double trap stun. I like this over 7 tools, because if I play this at the beginning of main phase 1 or my standby phase or whatever, unless they have the book down, I'm pretty much going to OTK. There are scenarios when you can use 7 tools to stop your opponent's trap stun, which is nice, and that would be my only reason for running it. But with the theory behind this, if I flip this, it's basically like a cold wave, and I'm just going to kill them. If I have the 7 tools, there is a chance they still will have 2 traps that can stop me, and I might potentially lose off my own OTK, so I didn't like that. And then Bottomless, because it's decent. Warning, because it's really good right now. And then I teched Regeki Break. The reason I teched this is because I wanted to have a card that was good against an established field. Because Bottomless is not good against an established field. Warning's not good against an established field. This is good because this is good at any point in the game. If I open with it, it's really good. If I draw later, it's really good. And then in this deck, I really don't like this in a lot of decks, but in a deck where you're going to be okay negging the 1, it doesn't hurt me. If I drop a Sizen into my graveyard, that's good, because that's where I want him anyway, because I can always get him back with Geargia, and then I add more cards if I keep my armor alive. So it really doesn't matter to me that I neg that 1 card. So it put in a lot of work. It won me a couple matches. I would, they'd summon Bear, and I'd kill it on the summon, so that was really beneficial. I'll keep that in there most likely. Extra deck.
That's what I was waiting for.
You sound any more like a predator.
Black Rose Dragon. Basically, just trap stun and blow up the field, and I'd set an armor. I'll show you the play at the end that I did a couple times, but it's Black Rose. 2 Beret, and then I like 2 Burrito because it is easy to get. A lot of people will do the double Beret play and then end with a Burrito, but there's a very simple way to go double Burrito and end with 1 Beret. And all you really need is 1 out at a time, and you can draw 2. So you get huge advantage, and plus your field is massive. Stardust, because it's just really good in this deck. Once you get a big field, it's very hard for them to get over any of this stuff anyway. And if you have Stardust to stop the Dark Hole, you win. Scrap Dragon's really good. And then Honor Arc. This card is absolutely fucking nuts. I think it's better than Exciton. Won me a lot of games. It's just a stupid card. Bad players leave Draco Sax in attack mode and you take them. Exciton Knight. Sadly, I didn't ever really need to use this. I wasn't really behind because just add cards constantly. But it is a very good card because it basically punishes your opponent for outplaying you, which is a really horrible game mechanic. But, if you have it, use it. Dweller, because you need it for Mermails. I wish you didn't have to run this, but if you're running triple gear, you have to. It sucks because it's just an 1800 beater, and it doesn't actually have an effect that lets you get over monsters. But it resets your gears and makes them live again, and it puts accelerators back in your deck. And
makes that gear work.
Yeah, so it's so good, and I did resolve it. And then the 2 Gear Gigants because you need them. And then I play 2 3s. A lot of people play 1 or no 3s for some reason, but Zenmains just wins you the grind game, and you're not always going to open optimal. And you can go if you get stuck with 2 gears, which does happen. You can just sit on Zenmains, and you should be able to grind your way back. And then Ghost Trick Alucard. This card is nuts. I made it all day. You can bait out so much with this, and if they don't stop it, you just get free plus. And
Really good in the mirror match.
kills the mirror match, kills it. And other decks too, like I hit I think 3 or 4 mirror forces just off this card throughout the day, so definitely like him in there. And I'll get to the side really quick. Mind control. It also wins the mirror match because you just basically you flip their armor, and then you add accelerator, you special accelerator, and then you exceed into geargia. And then this wins against other random decks too, like Fire Fists and Harpies and Mermails all leave 4s out. Like against Mermails, you can take their Pike when they leave it out there, and then overlay with one of your 4s and just make Dweller, and it does get the 2200 because it just needs 1 water monster on it. MST because you need the extra removal against some decks. Same with Tornado. That was mostly for Mermails and Heretics and whatnot. Oh, also Heretics, you can take their Tomb and detach its last material and get Redux out of your deck.
Oh my god.
So that's a good play. Scarecrow.
Only one?
In theory, it was really good, but I didn't even need it ever. So I'm probably gonna take that out.
Is it in there for another Redox target as well?
Yeah, it was in there for the game. I didn't really leave Redox in though, but that's why originally I was like, well, it's a Redox target. It's good against Heretics. It's good against Mermails, but I never actually was in the position where I needed it.
Yeah.
And I cited out Redox almost every time. I was so pissed. The whole day I just wanted it to be another Arsenal. 3 overworks. I fucking hate Fire Fist, and this I had to play Harpies and Fire Fist like all day. The only thing I didn't use this against was pretty much Mermails, because I play pretty much nothing but Mermails, Fire Fist, and Harpies. So, all the big annoying shit. Debunk, wrecks Mermails, and it did wreck Mermails, so you, basically, they go Megalo, they drop their cards, a lot of the time they basically go Megalo Marksman, and you flip it, and Megalo gets cancelled and removed from the game. So, they neg 3, and they get nothing, and you just win. This was my second favorite card of my extra deck, or side deck. Black Orb of Heaven is just stupid. It wins the mirror match. It beats the shit out of Fire Fist.
It's a free warning.
Yeah, it's like having 3 warnings in your deck against decks where they just exceed. So, I love it. That's not coming out. That was ridiculous. That was for Mermails, obviously, mostly. And then, this I just put in there like an hour before the event, and I was just like, whatever, I need one more card. But this ended up being like my MVP card of the day. Macro. If you could establish a big field and you have like Stardust out to protect it from the MST, against most of these decks right now, you win. Fire Fist can't use their effects if the spells can't go to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
And Mermails, I shit on Mermails. I played Fire King Fists. So if they can't resolve their the sending of their cards for the cost, they can't play the effect. And I sided this in 4 or 5 times, and every time I drew it, I won like a turn later. So it's stupid. So that's a deck. I still have a lot of shit I need to work on because like I said, I haven't been playing it very long. I would say the deck is mediocre right now. In terms of power, I'd say it's tier 1, but in terms of playability, mechanically it is bad.